Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So, the first book is about gratitude. And see, every time I read about gratitude, it was like either people, give you exercises to do, which even I've done that. But it's like when you understand something and then you do it, the results are much better.
Mm.
Okay. One is that, and secondly, the exercises which I've worked on, they are so simple that you don't have to take an extra effort to do something other than what your daily routine is. Okay, most of the exercises are like, you know, just when you're walking on the ground, every step you take, say thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you for, what you see around, because every step is going to give you a different vision.
yeah,
So, you don't have to do anything extra.
yeah.
It's in your lifestyle,
Mm.
in your everyday things, the small
Yeah,
things
yeah.
that we do every day.
Mm.
The first part, this is a second part, which is a list of exercises for 21 days. Some days have, more than one exercise because we are adults, we can do it. So, as simple as that. And the first part is basically understanding what exactly is gratitude. The the things that happen inside our brains when we say thank you, or when we actually feel grateful for something that we have. Now, if I tell you that, you know, imagine your vacation that you have taken with your family and you enjoyed that vacation the most. It's easy for you to imagine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and now, if you are wanting to manifest another vacation like that, I tell you to imagine about that and do that. If I tell you to imagine bungee jumping or skydiving, if you if I ask you to imagine something that you've not done, you don't know the feeling.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
But the thing is that vacation, to manifest that vacation to begin with, you have to feel it. See, the brain does not know the difference between the reality and
mm.
imagination.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I have to, if you can help your brain to feel the same just by imagining um, a virtual situation which you have not faced, it becomes difficult.
Mm, mm,
But if you tell your brain to imagine something what you've already experienced, it becomes easy.
mm, mm,
Okay. And this moment where your brain is imagining imagining something without actually experiencing it, but using the past experience,
mm, mm,
that is what helps you manifest your future.
mm,
Whatever you want, you can, like, attract it literally.
mm, mm, mm.
So, um, so that is the point um, which I have experienced, that every time, the smallest of things, okay, if I feel pain for somebody, for something which I have not experienced, but if I start feeling, having empathy with my neighbor for something that she is going through, I've not gone through,
Mm.
I tend to attract that same thing in my life then.
Is
If
it?
that, yeah, yeah. If that can happen for something bad, then it can happen for something good.
Mm,
But it becomes difficult for us to um, imagine how somebody else is feeling when they are happy. It's
mm,
easier to empathize when somebody's feeling sad. Try feel See, happy feelings are shallow, and sad feelings are more have more depth. Okay.
uh,
So if you lose somebody in your life, a very close person, you'll feel sorrow for
mm,
that event for a very long time. But if you
mm,
get a new job, you manifest something that you always wanted, you feel happy for a small time.
mm,
So, to train your brain to be in that state of happiness because it's short-lived. So you have to keep giving it reasons and excuses again and again and
Hmm.
again.
That's a very powerful observation, Richa. Very powerful. Uh, very powerful.
Makes sense, right?
या बट मुझे एक चीज नहीं समझ में आई जैसे उसकी जो बुक है रोंडा बर्न्स की in that she talks about one exercise where you wish for the well-being of other people. She
Hmm.
says, imagine you have a magic wand and if somebody is not feeling well, you wish them well. Uh,
Hmm.
but but you're saying that if I'm wishing them well, I'll attract that on me.
No, I'm
Uh-huh.
saying, there are moments, okay? I don't know about, no, your mom is hale and hearty, touch wood. Okay, you meet somebody and um, they have lost their mom, okay? And there are two people, let's imagine two people. One has lost their mother and the other one has just lost their mother. The other person who has already lost his mom comes back and says, oh, I can understand your pain,
Hmm.
right? So that moment when he's trying to understand his pain and feel his pain, and he actually does understand his pain. If you tell me, I will not be able to relate. My
Hmm.
mom is hale and hearty, right?
Hmm.
So that loss, that that feeling, that emotion, your brain goes through that again. What are you attracting? That person has already lost the mom. He cannot lose
Hmm.
his mom again. But what are you attracting is probably another loss,
Hmm.
right? So there are two things. One is feeling their pain, and one is wishing them a better tomorrow or wishing them that they feel better.
बट फिर उसके हिसाब से तो एम्पैथी करना ही नहीं चाहिए हमको रिचा किसी से.
एम्पैथी तो मेरे हिसाब से तो नहीं करना चाहिए बिकॉज मैंने माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस एवरी टाइम आई एम गेटिंग गूज बम्स एवरी टाइम आई हैव एम्पैथाइज्ड विद समबडी फॉर समथिंग दैट दे आर गोइंग थ्रू ब्लडी हेल आई हैव इनवाइटेड इट इनटू माय लाइफ एम्पैथी मत करो विश देम बेटर wish them a better tomorrow, wish them a better moment, wish them a better feeling. एम्पैथी करके तुमने क्या उखाड़ लिया? मतलब तुम उनकी जैसा फील करके उनको हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू मेक देम फील बेटर? तेरा गम मेरा गम एक जैसा सनम, बस दैट्स इट. इसके आगे क्या? व्हाट नेक्स्ट? सो इट्स मोर लाइक यू नो um you have had two people who meet, they have had a breakup. There are two options. One, they can say, oh, I can understand what you're going through. Okay. And then they say, you know what? Let's go out for a date. Which do you think is better in any possible way? To sulk together or to just see a possibility tomorrow for a better tomorrow. So,
Okay, okay.
make sense?
Yeah, it is beginning to make sense.
So,
Hmm.
so similarly, like, gratitude is opposite for empathy, maybe. I don't know. I'm I'm just throwing an idea. So, when you are empathizing, you are bringing yourselves down, bringing yourselves lower to match the energy of the other person. Whereas gratitude, you are raising your own vibration, using your past or something that you've already gone through. And if you can, do it without that base, if you can imagine your better tomorrow, or you can imagine your, virtual vacation, there it is. So that's gratitude.
Uh, Achha, tell me about the subtitle of the book, which is Stuff That Billionaires Hide from You. What
Yeah.
is that? Huh?
So, how do you feel? What makes it work? I've not used that word a lot in the book, but that's basically the essence. What makes it work? People don't talk about, how it works. People talk about, हम बच्चों को सिखाते हैं, say thank you. They mechanically say thank you, you know.
Correct.
The moment when you feel that thank you and say it, that is that magical moment that nobody talks about. This is what brings you success. You know, success, um, I'm not talking about billionaires in only matter of wealth, but somebody is a billionaire in when it comes to happiness. Okay, it's also that moment. It's also that feeling that okay, that moment which brings you that abundance of anything that you want: happiness, health, wealth, materialistic things, moments, happy moments with your family, with your friends, anything, anything. So it's just not, that one thing about wealth alone. It's about abundance. I mean, abundance in general,
Yeah, yeah.
in in everything. If I have to feel happy, it's okay. So I'll tell you this one incident. Uh, I spoke about how we do things technically. I'm an artist. I work with a lot of chemicals. Okay, so there's a chemical which, for example, in 1 liter, I can add only 10 drops of the combination. If I add 11th drop in 1 liter, okay, imagine it heats up to that level where the mold can catch fire. Okay,
Oh,
it is dangerous. So I was working on. I had this habit. My container was 2.2 liters. Okay, which I used to mix. So I had to put 22 drops.
huh.
There was a time when while counting, I just got lost in my thoughts. And oh shit, I didn't know how many drops I'd put. I lost count of I mean, I lost count of those drops. Then I was like, I don't know what to do, because if I mix it and put it into the mold, the mold might, get heat up, melt, catch fire, anything. And if it is less, then
Then you're
then the mold is
uh,
spoiled, because
uh,
it is so sticky and it will never cure. It will never become solid. So it'll always remain sticky because of that combination. I didn't know what to do. So what I did, I used a mold which was no longer useful for me. I'd done enough of it, but I put this whole combination into that mold. Guess what? It was 22 drops exact.
wow.
Because my mind was so used to doing only those many drops. I did only those many drops. Okay. When I
Uh,
was doing this, I realized कि हम, when we say thank you,
uh,
we are so technical about it. We are so,
yeah,
uh, okay, somebody gave us something. Oh, thank you. It just comes out like that. You
yeah,
don't
yeah,
feel that moment.
yeah.
You know what this thing which somebody gave me could mean to me. Um, in the next half an hour, 1 hour, how much does it matter to me? What is the value of that thing to me? We just say thank you because we are into the
Thought, yeah,
habit of saying that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good.
I just have explained what happens into the heads where you know and behave in a particular manner. So if you understand that, you're there. You're there. You can manifest anything that you want.
Yeah.
Um,
Any example from your life you would like to share about how gratitude worked for you?
uh, the best thing. Um, my husband was in the Navy and he would keep getting transferred every now and then. ये अंदर की बात है, but everybody has one major problem that they face. घर नहीं मिलता है. You go to a different city, you don't get सरकारी घर. So then you hunt, you looking for a place which comes within your HRA budget and this and that. I used to say that I'm very lucky with my houses, my maids, and my neighbors. It has multiplied so much that it doesn't matter if it has to be a sarkari ghar, or it has to be a rent ka ghar, or my khud ka ghar, or whatever. My neighbor today, every day in the morning, he'll come give me 500, 600 parijat ke flowers. He'll handpick them, each one of them. He's an old uncle, okay? I love parijat flowers. I tell my husband, पूरी life में, मिला कर भी, you have not given me so many flowers. How many that uncle gives me every single day? I have another neighbor who, I don't make great tea. I can make good coffee because I have coffee, but I can't, I've never tasted tea. So my tea is a little tacky. So she'll make tea for my husband, and his first tea, ये सब North Indians जो है ना, they have tea like 10 times a day, okay? His first tea is made by their auntie, and because I don't have tea, she'll make a kadha for me, which is aloe vera, ajwain, and
Oh
I don't know what all, okay? She'll put all
my.
that and she'll make that for me. And I'm saying this every single day without a miss. So, you know, it's just multiplied every single time. I've said, I'm very lucky with houses and maids and neighbors. It has become better every single time. It has just become better. I've seen it. I'm getting all goosebumps again. I've seen um I've seen that. Okay. I was reading Rhonda Bryan ka um Love, Health and Wealth वाला जो last one of the 22 series जो आया है उनका, can't remember
कौन
the
सा
name.
नई बुक आई है क्या कोई?
22 में एक है. One second.
अच्छा.
It's just here with me. One second, I'll show you.
हाँ.
I just saw that. Uh,
The secret to
here.
love, health, and money. Okay.
Yes. And so this one, I got specs, okay? And I never believed it, or I never paid attention to it so much. My dad used to always say, 40 के हो जाओगे चश्मा लग जाएगा. 40 के हो जाओगे चश्मा लग जाएगा. He kept saying it since my childhood. And uh, last year, one fine day I realized कि I can't read so clearly. एक दिन हो गया, 2 दिन हो गए, एक हफ्ता निकल गया, and then it came to a state where I could not read a book.
हाँ.
I love my paperbacks and I just could not read. So I told my husband I need to see, um, I need to check my number. He's like, अरे कुछ नहीं हुआ है, कुछ नहीं हुआ है. I said, नहीं, I can't see. And he would not listen. So I was upset with him. I just slept almost out of depression. I kept sleeping for 3 days because I would spend like 8 to 10 hours reading every day. If I could not read, what do I do? I was so depressed that I can't read that I just kept sleeping. That time vacuumed to sleep. Okay. And the fourth day, he took me and we got specs for myself. The first chapter I read, she said कि I used to believe that I can manifest everything, and then I put on my reading glasses and I was reading. Then I realized, why can't I manifest a better eyesight? The first chapter I read after that, after those specs, and I read it, and she has mentioned how she was, how she affirmed to herself, I can see clearly, I can see clearly, and she put her glasses off in 3 days. She didn't need the glasses anymore. I said, oh, I just got my glasses yesterday. What do I do? I said, okay, let me try. I put off my glasses, and again, I did not read for the next 3, 4 days, and I kept telling myself I can see clearly. Now my husband was worried. I got you glasses. Now what? Why you not reading and why you sulking? So I said, I'm not sulking, but I'm not reading. Yes. So, after 3, 4, 5 days, I realized I took something, normally how I would take and start reading, go back to my, it was like a vacuum for me, not reading. So I just took up a book and I started reading, and I didn't need glasses. I realized it like after 3 hours that I was reading absolutely fine. I didn't need glasses. Right now, I don't need glasses. My YouTube channel has 3, 4 videos in which I'm wearing glasses. And before that, after that, no glasses. So being grateful for that, affirming and being grateful, genuinely being grateful.
Now, very interesting. Now, tell me, these affirmations you do mentally or you write them down?
No. Mentally. Mentally to an extent that every time I think of it, oh, I can see clearly. I can see clearly. Uh, Coming to Bangalore is the first time when I've had to cook. Okay. So I could make Maggie, coffee, dal chawal, and rotis I could make very well. And then somebody asked Ashish, my husband, why don't you hire a cook? So he said, she's trying, let her learn. Maybe someday our son is able to say, Meri maa ke haath ka khana. I was like, when he said that, I was like, okay, घर चलो, देखती हूँ. Then on the way, I realized I just want to be the kind of chef that whatever I make, it turns out to be the best. I said that statement in my head and I said, oh, let me try this affirmation. Let me try this for the next 3 days. And I did that. And in actually, I didn't say 3 days. I said I'll do it for a month. I forgot about it in 3 days. Okay. So I kept doing it for 3 days and then I got busy or something and that thought left my mind. Today, it's been about 6 months to that incident. My son's friends, when they are coming over for a weekend, their parents call me up and say ki, see, our son did not have a tummy full dinner last night. They have not had breakfast just because they're coming to your house for lunch. they they actually starve themselves because they're like, richa auntie ke haath ka khana khana. So, I mean, that's the best compliment, right? And I was the person who could not make um, tadka dal, normal dal with tadka. I could only make that pila dal, plain dal with probably ghee and namak. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Haldi and namak, sorry. So, इससे ज़्यादा आता ही नहीं था, कभी किया ही नहीं था. And cooking is not one of the places that I'm very interested in. But I just told myself, कि whatever I make, should be the best. One kid told me, I made pasta one day. They said, my mom also makes pasta, but it tastes more like क्या बोला था उसने, milk and wheat. Oops. Milk and wheat. Okay. I said I also used milk and wheat atta. So it's like, but yours tastes creamy and cheesy and nice and soft. I'm like, okay, thank you. I make pizza. I make kali dal. I make paneer. Matlab we are vegetarians. So anything that I make, the kids love everything. My husband's friends love everything that they, try their hands. That was
So,
cool.
tell me something. Is there a number of times you need to do this? How
No,
do
no, I have not kept a number of times wala criteria because it becomes the moment you say, okay, 21 times I have to say this, then you count, your focus is more on the number. Understand? 18 हो गया, 19, 20, 21. It becomes more like निपट गया. ये करना था, ये हो गया. So I don't do that. I just say, whenever I remember that I have to do this, I'll say this in my head as many number of times that I can without keeping account of it. And I just say it. And if I get on to another job, I do that. So it's not like, you know, I do it 5 times every time I remember. नहीं. एक बार बोला तो एक बार, लेकिन दिल से बोला. दिल से.
नहीं ये
Feeling it.
हाँ सो ये जो दिल से बोलने वाली बात है ये आएगी कैसे मे बी यू नो हाउ टू डू इट आई डोंट नो हाउ टू डू इट
Okay. Um, even if somebody else doesn't believe in what you're going to say, you just believe that it is true. I'll tell you something. I've said one more thing. I've said one more thing to myself again and again, that I'm an alchemist. Okay? Whatever I get into, if I get into YouTube channel making, if I get into Udemy courses, if I get into whatever I do, I succeed in it, I become the best in it. Okay? I feel satisfied about it. I said this and it started happening to me. Now, whatever I think, be it related to cooking, be it related to work, be it related to, how I keep the house or my son, my husband, whatever I think, it happens because I've made myself believe that I'm an alchemist in the first place.
Whatever I do, I succeed in it. That's what you said, huh?
Yes, whatever I do, success follows me in everything I touch.
इसमें एक इश्यू होता है रेसिस्टेंस का ना रिचा, मतलब मैं बोल रहा हूँ बट विश्वास नहीं कर रहा, तो फिर वो
हाँ,
या फिर कई बार पता नहीं होता कि
नहीं
मैं इंटरनली
नहीं
विश्वास नहीं कर रहा.
नहीं, इट्स लाइक फेक इट टिल यू मेक इट. ठीक है, इतनी बार बोलो. आई टोल्ड यू वन थिंग, योर ब्रेन डज नॉट नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रियलिटी एंड इमेजिनेशन. इतनी बार बोलो दैट योर ब्रेन स्टार्ट्स बिलीविंग इन इट. पहले 10 बार, 15 बार, 25 बार होगा कि योर ब्रेन विल से व्हाट नॉनसेंस आर यू टॉकिंग. ठीक है, देन यू टेल योर ब्रेन शट अप, आई एम सेइंग समथिंग, लिसन टू इट. दैट्स व्हेन इट स्टार्ट्स हैपनिंग.
ब्रेन को बाईपास करने का कोई तरीका है
यू नो,
क्या?
sublime audios what I make.
हाँ,
That's the best way to not tell your conscious brain what's going inside.
इंटरेस्टिंग.
That is the only way I have found to not tell your conscious brain what you're making your subconscious brain believe.